Hi students, this is Botany PSR. Today I want to explain prokaryotic cells. What is that? Prokaryotic cells. In which kingdom these prokaryotic cells are found means kingdom Monera. All Monerans are prokaryotes. Yes, true. All Monerans are prokaryotes. True. All prokaryotes are Monerans. It is also true. What is a prokaryote? Pro means first. Karyo means nucleus. First formed nucleus. That is, true nucleus is absent. True nucleus is absent. Membrane bound cell organelles are absent. These two are very, very important characteristics of prokaryotic cells. What is the smallest cell? Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is also called PPLO, that is pleuropneumonia-like organism. PPLO. PPLO means pleuropneumonia-like organism. Right. Now look at here. All Monerans are prokaryotes. True. All prokaryotes are Monerans. It is also true. What are the groups found in Monerans? It contains 4 groups. Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Mycoplasma, Actinomycetes. Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Mycoplasma, Actinomycetes. Eubacteria contains 2 groups, that is bacteria and cyanobacteria. In all these Monerans, where do you find cell wall means all organisms are having cell wall except Mycoplasma. This Mycoplasma does not contain cell wall. So, Archaebacteria contains cell wall. Eubacteria, that is true bacteria. EU means true. Bacteria and cyanobacteria are called Eubacteria. They also contain cell wall. That is, bacteria and cyanobacteria contain cell wall. Mycoplasma does not contain cell wall. Actinomycetes contain cell wall. That is, all Monerans except Mycoplasma. All Monerans have cell wall except Mycoplasma. Okay. All prokaryotes have cell wall except Mycoplasma. This is very, very important point. All prokaryotes have cell wall. False. Majority of prokaryotes have cell wall. True. All prokaryotes have cell wall except Mycoplasma. By which material it is made up of? Archaebacteria, cell wall is made up of pseudomurine. What is that? Pseudomurine. And Eubacteria, that is both in bacteria and cyanobacteria, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan or mucopeptide or murine. In both bacteria and cyanobacteria, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan or mucopeptide or murine. In Mycoplasma, cell wall is absent. Very, very important point. Whereas in Actinomycetes, cell wall is present, which is made up of mycolic acid. What is that? Mycolic acid. So many students may confuse here. In Mycoplasma, mycolic acid is present. False. Whereas in Mycoplasma, cell wall is totally absent. In Mycoplasma, cell wall is made up of mycolic acid. False. In Actinomycetes, cell wall is made up of mycolic acid. It's true. Right. That is, all prokaryotes have cell wall except Mycoplasma. That is, Mycoplasma are the organisms which are not having cell wall, and that too, these are the smallest living cells. Mycoplasma also called PPLO. PPLO full form pleuropneumonia-like organism. What are the unique features? Unique features of prokaryotes, that is mesosomes, inclusion bodies, plasmids. Now look at the diagram of bacteria cell structure. Prokaryotic cell structure means, that is, I am going to explain the bacteria cell structure. This is the bacterial cell structure. See, the outermost layer called glycocalyx. Below the cell wall, below the glycocalyx, cell wall is present. Below the cell wall, cell membrane is present. So, these three layers together called cell envelope. Cell envelope means three parts in the correct order from outer to inner. Glycocalyx, cell wall, cell membrane. The cell membrane shows some infoldings or invaginations into the cytoplasm are called mesosomes. Okay. And these are pili, also called sex pili. And these are fimbriae. And these are flagellum. Okay. So these are reserve food material called glycogen and polybeta hydroxybutyrate, PHB. Glycogen and PHB, that is polybeta hydroxybutyrate. This is a plasmid and this is a polysome. A number of ribosomes on mRNA is called polysome. And this horizontal line is so called mRNA. And this is nothing but bacterial chromosome, also called genophore. Bacterial chromosome also called genophore. So this is the cytoplasm. This entire fluid matrix is called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains what type of ribosomes? 70th type of ribosomes. What type of ribosomes means? 70th type of ribosomes are found in bacteria. Okay. Right. Now what are the parts means? Parts in bacterial cell structure. Cell envelope, that is glycocalyx, cell wall, cell membrane. Cell envelope modifications. Cell envelope modifications means flagella, fimbriae, pili. Cytoplasm, ribosomes, inclusion bodies, bacterial chromosome also called genophore and plasmid. These are the different parts found in bacterial cell structure. Okay? Right. Now look at here, my dear students. Morphological types in bacteria. Morphological types in bacteria. How many types means? That is 4 types. If the bacteria is spherical shape, it is so called coccus. Coccus is singular. Cocci is plural. If the shape of bacteria is rod shape means it is so called bacillus. Bacillus is singular. Plural form of bacillus is bacilli. Spherical shaped bacteria called coccus. Rod shaped bacteria called bacillus. And comma shaped bacteria called vibrio. Comma shaped bacteria called vibrio. Spiral shaped bacteria called spirillum. Total how many types? 4 types. So based on the structure, based on the morphology, types of bacteria means 4 types. Number of morphological types in bacteria, 4 types. Okay. Now what is comma shaped bacterium? Comma shaped bacterium is called vibrio. Now I am going to explain one by one. Right. Let us suppose coccus. Coccus means spherical shaped bacteria called coccus. If it is one means monococcus. What is that? Monococcus. If there are 2 means this is so called diplococcus. If there are 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4, it is so called tetracoccus. Tetra means 4. If those spherical shaped bacteria arranged in chain form, it is so called Streptococcus. Strepto means chain. If the spherical shaped bacteria arranged in the form of bunch of grapes means it is so called Staphylococci. If single spherical shaped bacteria called Monococcus, 2 spherical shaped bacteria called Diplococcus, 4 spherical shaped bacteria called Tetracoccus. If spherical shaped bacteria arranged in the form of chain, it is so called Streptococcus. Many spherical shaped bacteria arranged in the form of bunch of grapes, it is so called Staphylococcus. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many are there? 8. If 8 spherical shaped bacteria arranged in the form of a cube, 8 spherical shaped bacteria arranged in the form of cubes, it is so called Sarcina. Very, very important. If one Sarcina is present means number of spherical shaped bacteria means 8 cells. 8 cells in cubes. So, number of spherical shaped bacteria in each Sarcina, 8. Number of spherical shaped bacteria in 6 Sarcina. 6 Sarcina means 6 into 8. 48 cells. Like that we have to calculate. Okay. So, this is about coccus. Coccus is singular. Cocci is plural. Next one, Bacillus. The rod-shaped bacteria called Bacillus. Plural form is Bacilli. If it is one means it is so called Monobacillus. If the arrangement is in 2 means it is so called Diplobacillus. If those arranged in the form of a chain means like this, chain, it is so called Streptobacillus. So, if single rod-shaped bacteria called Monobacillus, 2 rod-shaped bacteria called Diplobacilli. A linear chain of rod-shaped bacteria called Streptobacilli. Next one, comma-shaped bacteria. Comma-shaped bacteria called Vibrio. What is the shape? Comma shape. Comma means less than 1 twist. Less than 1 twist. Less than 1 twist. It is so called vibrioid. Less than 1 twist is called vibrioid. So, comma-shaped bacterium called Vibrio. Less than 1 twist, it is so called vibrioid. And the next one, spirillum. Spiral-shaped bacteria. Spiral-shaped means like this. Spiral-shaped bacterium. So, that is more than 1 twist. If more than one twist, it is so called spirillum. That is, here one example is there, spirochete. What is a spirochete? It is a type of spirillum and it is flexible and it is corkscrew shaped. Spirochete means spiral shape, flexible and spiral shape. flexible, corkscrew shaped. What is a spirochete means? Spiral shaped which is flexible and corkscrew shaped. So number of morphological types in bacteria means 4. These are the 4 types of bacteria. Okay, please note down all these points, my dear students. Now look at here, my dear students, Gram staining. This Gram staining technique proposed by Christian Gram. And how many types of bacteria are there based on Gram staining means? 2 types of bacteria. That is, bacteria are classified into 2 types. Bacteria are classified into 2 types. One is Gram positive and second one is Gram negative. These are the 2 types of bacteria. Okay, Gram positive means which can take up the stain. Which can take up the stain are called Gram positive bacteria. They contain teichoic acid. Very, very important point. Gram positive bacteria contain a chemical substance called teichoic acid. Teichoic acid is present. And what is the example means? That is lactobacillus. Lactobacillus. Gram negative means do not take up the stain. Do not take up the stain are called Gram negative bacteria. And here teichoic acid is absent. Teichoic acid is absent. And what the example for this one means? Example is Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli. So what is the staining substance? Staining substance is very, very important. Staining substance staining substance is crystal violet. So based on staining, number of types of bacteria means 2 types. Which can take up the stain are called gram positive, which do not take up the stain are called gram negative. Gram positive teichoic acid is present, gram negative teichoic acid is absent. Example for gram positive means lactobacillus. Example for gram negative means E. coli, that is Escherichia coli. What is the staining substance of bacteria? Staining substance of bacteria is, we have to write, what is that? Crystal violet. Very, very important point. Okay. So please note down this point. Now I will explain parts one by one. That is cell envelope. Cell envelope contains what are the different parts means, that is glycocalyx, cell wall, cell membrane. First one, that is glycocalyx. This glycocalyx, it may be slime layer or it may be capsule. Slime layer, it may be capsule. Slime layer means it is thin, loose sheath. Thin layer, loose sheath. Capsule means thick, tough sheath. Thick, tough sheath. So glycocalyx is made up of polysaccharides. Glycocalyx is made up of polysaccharides and it may contain proteins also. That means these 2 layers, slime layer is made up of, or capsule is made up of, what you have to write? Polysaccharides. Very, very important. And may contain proteins also. Whereas cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Cell membrane is made up of lipoproteins. This is the chemical composition of cell envelope layers. Outer to inner means you have to say glycocalyx, cell wall, cell membrane. That is centripetal order. Centrifugal order means cell membrane, cell wall, glycocalyx. It may be in the form of loose sheath means it is so called slime layer, or it may be in the form of thick, tough sheath means it is called capsule. Slime layer or capsule, whatever it may be, made up of polysaccharides. How can you remember means glycocalyx, here is one C, here is one C. 2 C's are present. Polysaccharides also 2 C's are present. That one, it is easy to remember. Okay. This glycocalyx it may be in the form of loose sheath called slime layer, or it may be in the form of tough sheath called capsule. Glycocalyx is made up of polysaccharides. Okay. These 3 layers together act as protection. So these three layers together act as protection. Next one, glycocalyx is completed. Next one, cell wall. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Also very very important point. Peptidoglycan, also called mucopeptide, also called murine. This peptidoglycan contains or made up of NAG plus NAM. NAG plus NAM. NAG means N-acetyl glucosamine. N-acetyl glucosamine. NAM means N-acetyl muramic acid. So cell wall. Where do you find cell wall? Below the glycocalyx. It is made up of peptidoglycan, also called mucopeptide, also called murine. This peptidoglycan consists of NAG and NAM. NAG means N-acetyl glucosamine. NAM means N-acetyl muramic acid. This cell wall, it gives definite shape to the cell. Definite shape to the cell, and also gives preventing from bursting. These are the two functions of cell wall. What are the two functions of cell wall means? It gives definite shape to the cell. Definite shape to the cell. It prevents the cell from bursting or collapsing. These are the two functions of cell wall. And next one, see cell membrane. It is made up of lipoproteins. That is similar to eukaryotes. The eukaryotic nature found in prokaryotic cell is chemical composition of cell membrane. And the cell membrane of bacterial prokaryotes is made up of lipoproteins, whereas in eukaryotic cell membrane is also made up of lipoproteins. That's why the eukaryotic nature found in prokaryotic cell is cell membrane chemical composition. This is very very important. The extensions of cell membrane, if you look at here, means the extensions of, this is the cell membrane. The cell membrane extensions or invaginations into the cytoplasm are called mesosomes. The extensions of cell membrane. So now these are the very very important points. Mesosomes, that is cell membrane, the cell membrane extensions of cell membrane or infoldings of cell membrane into the cell are called mesosomes. These mesosomes are in the form of vesicles or tubules, or in the form of lamellae. Vesicles means they may be in the form of round. Tubules means like this. Lamellae means like this. So these mesosomes are in the form of vesicles, tubules, or lamellae. Lamellae means like this shape. Next, what are the mesosomes functions? Mesosomes functions means they help in cell wall formation. Very very important point. These mesosomes are helpful in cell wall formation and they also help in DNA replication and its distribution to daughter cells. That means if you look at here means this here whenever the DNA replicate means the cell divides into two. So that is DNA replication. Which part of bacteria helps in DNA replication means mesosome and its distribution to daughter cells. And next it is also useful for respiration. That is normally in eukaryotic cells, which cell organelle is useful for respiration means mitochondria. The part of the bacteria that is equivalent to mitochondria means that is mesosome. Mesosomes. That is mesosomes are useful for respiration. Next one, secretion and increase the surface area of absorption. Increase the surface area of absorption because it absorbs the nutrients. Next one, enzymatic content. It contains some enzymes. Enzymatic content. These are the different functions of mesosomes. It helps in cell wall formation. It helps in DNA replication and its distribution to daughter cells. Respiration, secretion. It increase the surface area of absorption because of absorption of nutrients. It contains enzymes. So enzymatic content. Next one, the most important point, mesosomes are equivalent to mitochondria in eukaryotes. Why? Because mesosomes are useful for respiration. Mitochondria are useful for respiration. So mesosomes are equivalent to which cell organelle of eukaryotes means you have to say mitochondria. Okay. This is about cell membrane. Cell membrane made up of lipoproteins. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Loose sheath or capsule is made up of polysaccharides. Those three we have to remember. Very, very important. The eukaryotic nature found in prokaryotic the eukaryotic nature found in prokaryotic cell is, that is, cell membrane chemical composition. Prokaryotic cell membrane is made up of lipoproteins. Eukaryotic cell membrane is made up of lipoproteins. Okay? Please note down all these points, my dear students. Right. Cell wall is a permeable membrane, whereas cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. Very, very important points. Wherever the cell wall is present means cell wall is a permeable membrane. That is, it allows all solutes and solvents. Semi-permeable membrane means it allows only solvents. It does not allow solutes, which allow only solvents. It is so called semi-permeable membrane. Okay. Next one. That is about cell wall, cell membrane. The extensions of cell membrane in bacteria called mesosomes, whereas chromatophores in cyanobacteria also called blue-green algae. Let us suppose this is the cell. This is the cell wall. This is the cell membrane. And this is the vesicle. The vesicle contains pigments. So, these are the pigments, photosynthetic pigments. And this is the vesicle. So, this is nothing but chromatophore. So, the cell membrane extensions in cyanobacteria called, this is cell membrane extension, this is found in blue-green algae. The cell membrane extensions in cyanobacteria are called chromatophores. The cell membrane extensions in bacteria called mesosomes. The cell membrane extensions in prokaryotes are both mesosomes. Cell membrane extensions in prokaryotes means we have to say both mesosomes and chromatophores. Why? Because these are found in bacteria, these are found in blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria. Cell membrane extensions in bacteria called mesosomes. Cell membrane extensions in cyanobacteria called chromatophores. Cell membrane extensions in prokaryotes are both mesosomes and chromatophores. So, this is about cell envelope. Now, cell envelope modifications. Cell envelope modifications. Cell envelope modifications means that is flagella. Next one fimbriae. Next one pili. Flagella, these are useful for motility. These two are not useful for, these are useful for attachment, and these are useful for conjugation. So, that is, these two are non-motility. So, the cell envelope modifications useful for motility are called flagella. Non-motility, that is fimbriae and pili. One by one we have to discuss. Okay. Right. First of all, flagella. Prokaryotic flagella are made up of a protein called flagellin. Very, very important. Whereas eukaryotic flagella are made up of microtubules. That's why eukaryotic flagella are made up of protein called tubulin. And next one, this 9+2 arrangement not found. 9+2 arrangement is absent in prokaryotic flagella. whereas 9 plus 2 arrangement is found in eukaryotic flagella, that is trypanosoma flagella, euglena flagella, those two are eukaryotes. That's why those flagella, that is euglena flagella, trypanosoma flagella are made up of a protein called tubulin. Their 9 plus 2 arrangement is present. Prokaryotic flagella do not contain 9 plus 2 arrangement made up of protein called flagellin. Let us suppose this is the flagellum diagram. So this is so called basal body, this is so called hook, this is so called filament. So what is the longest portion or largest portion means filament is the largest part. So what is the largest part of flagellum is filament. It contains how many parts? Basal body, hook and filament. The three parts in the correct order from base to the tip. Largest portion of the flagellum is filament. Okay, this flagella, where do you find? That is flagellum. That is flagella means useful for motility. That is flagella useful for motility. So these are of different types. That is types. A trichus. That is the flagella. The bacterium is without flagellum. The bacterium is without flagellum. That is so called A trichus. Tricho means flagellum. And next one, monotrichus. Let us suppose this is the bacterium. It contains a flagella. That is single flagellum at one end of bacterium. At one end, one pole of bacterium. It is so called monoflagellum. And next one, that is amphitrichus. Amphitrichus means, let us suppose this is the bacterium. Amphi means both. Both means here is one flagellum, here is one flagellum. That is single flagellum at each pole, or single flagellum at both the ends of the bacterium. That is so called amphitrichus. Or you may say in the other way also, this is the bacterium, this is tufta flagella. Tufta flagella at both ends of bacterium, or tufta flagella at each end of bacterium. That is so called amphitrichus. And the next one, lophotrichus. Let us suppose this is the bacterium and these are the tufta flagella. That is a group of tufta flagella at one end of bacterium. It is so called lophotrichus. And lastly, peritrichus. Let us suppose this is the bacterium. The flagellum may be present all over the surface. That is so called peritrichus. If the bacterium is without flagellum, it is so called atrichus. If the bacterium with single flagellum at one end, it is so called monotrichus. Single flagellum at each end, or both the ends of bacterium, it is so called amphitrichus. Or in other words, a tufta flagella at each end of bacterium, that is so called amphitrichus. A group or tufta flagella at one end of bacterium, it is so called lophotrichus. If flagella are present all over the surface of bacterial cell, it is so called peritrichus. Peri means all over the surface. So based on the number of flagella, this one, flagella distribution. This is so called distribution of flagella. Next one, that is bacteria are of two types. Some bacteria are motility, some bacteria do not show motility. Some bacteria show locomotion, some bacteria do not show locomotion. Motility means, what are the examples? That is some bacilli. The bacteria which show motility are some bacilli. Non-motility means all cocci and some bacilli. That is, bacilli is placed in both motility and non-motility. That is, some bacilli are motility, some bacilli are non-motility. So the motility bacteria belongs to which group means Bacillus, which are non-motile bacteria, all cocci and some bacilli. Okay, please note down all these points, my dear students. Now I am going to explain fimbriae. These fimbriae are made up of protein called fimbrillin. Fimbriae are made up of a protein called fimbrillin, and these are useful for attachment of bacteria to rocks and host tissues. These are useful for attachment. Next one, these are small bristle-like fibers. These are smaller than in pili. That is based on size. Based on size, these are smaller than pili, and they may generally nearly how many in number means nearly 1,000 in their number. 1,000 in their number. Next one, pili. Pili made up of by a protein called pili made up of a protein called pilin, and these are useful for conjugation. Very very important point, my dear students. Pili or 6 pili, pili also called sex pili. Pili also called sex pili, useful for conjugation, and these are tubular hollow structures. Tubular hollow structures. Tubular hollow structures, and these are nearly 1 to 10. 1 to 10 in their number. These are larger than Fimbriae. That means increasing order based on size. If they ask means what are flagella, Fimbriae, pili, what are the smallest structures means, first of all we have to write Fimbriae. Fimbriae are smaller. Next, more than Fimbriae, pili. More than pili, that is flagella. This is the increasing order. Okay, so this is about cell envelope structures. Okay, next point. The cell envelope structures that are present external to cell wall. External to cell wall means glycocalyx, flagella, Fimbriae, and pili. The structures that are present external to cell wall. The structures that are present are surface structures external to cell wall. Let us suppose this is the cell wall. This is the cell wall means outer to cell wall. What are the parts present? Glycocalyx, and remaining flagella, Fimbriae, sex pili. So that is glycocalyx, flagella, Fimbriae, pili. So these are all about that cell envelope modifications. Next part, cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. The fluid substance inside the bacterial cell is called cytoplasm. This cytoplasm, all cell organelles are absent except, very very important point, all cell organelles are absent except ribosomes. So that means bacterial cell contain only one cell organelle, that is ribosomes. Remaining all other cell organelles are absent. So ribosomes are membraneless cell organelles. Ribosomes are membraneless cell organelles. Now I am asking one question. In the cytoplasm of bacteria, all membrane bound cell organelles are absent. True. All cell organelles are absent. False. Why? Because ribosomes are also one type of cell organelle. Try to remember, in the cytoplasm of bacteria, all cell organelles are absent. False. All membrane bound cell organelles are absent. True. Why? Because ribosomes are present. These ribosomes are membraneless cell organelles. And what is the reserve food material? Reserve food material is, that is glycogen and PHB. PHB full form is poly beta hydroxy butyrate. Reserve food material in bacteria is glycogen and PHB, that is poly beta hydroxy butyrate. That is about cytoplasm. Next, another part, that is ribosomes. What type of ribosomes do you find? Means in bacteria 70s type of ribosomes are found. What are the subunits? Means that is 50s and 30s. Where do you find these ribosomes? Means these ribosomes are associated with the cell membrane. This is the textbook point, my dear students. These ribosomes are associated with the cell membrane and also in cytoplasm. In cytoplasm associated with cell membrane. So ribosomes are associated with cell membrane. True. These ribosomes are found in cytoplasm. True. What type of ribosomes do you find in prokaryotes? 70s. What are the two subunits? 50s and 30s. This one is the larger subunit and this one is the smaller subunit. During translation, this is the mRNA and these are the ribosomes. A group of this is mRNA. These are the ribosomes. This entire structure is so called polysomes or polyribosomes. That is a group of ribosomes on mRNA. A group of ribosomes on mRNA is called polysome or polyribosome. That means these ribosomes translate the genetic message on mRNA into proteins. So that means these proteins are also useful for protein synthesis. These ribosomes are useful for protein synthesis. So these ribosomes translate the genetic message on mRNA into proteins. So in the mRNA contains codons. The genetic message on mRNA is in the form of codons. Those codons will be translated into amino acids in the sequence. That is, a group of amino acids is so called protein. These ribosomes translate the genetic message on mRNA into proteins. So that means ribosomes are useful for protein synthesis. What is that function? Protein synthesis. So please note down all these points, my dear students. Right. Now, next, what is the next part? Ribosomes is completed. Next part, inclusion bodies. What are the characteristic features of inclusion bodies? Inclusion bodies, that is, they reserve food material. They reserve food material. They lie freely in cytoplasm. They lie freely in cytoplasm. These are membraneless. These are membraneless. They do not contain a membrane. What are the different types of inclusion bodies? That is, one is called phosphate granules. Next one, glycogen granules. Next one, Synophysian granules. So what are the different types of inclusion bodies? Means phosphate granules, glycogen granules, Synophysian granules. Let us suppose this is a granule. This granule is having phosphate. So it is called phosphate granule. And next one, this is a glycogen granule. This is a Synophysian granule. So the granule which contain phosphate, those are so called phosphate granules, glycogen granules and Synophysian granules, but not gas vacuoles. Gas vacuoles are not the part of inclusion bodies. So inclusion bodies means you have to write these three only, but not gas vacuoles. Right? Gas vacuoles. Try to remember, my dear students, inclusion bodies means phosphate granules, glycogen granules, Synophysian granules, but not gas vacuoles. Gas vacuoles are not the part of inclusion bodies. This is very, very important. Characteristics of inclusion bodies: they store, they reserve the food material, they lie freely in cytoplasm. These are membraneless. Next, what are the characteristics of gas vacuoles? Gas vacuoles means these are permeable to gas. The word itself, gas, is there, no? Permeable to gases. That is impermeable to water. These gas vacuoles are found in, that is, these gas vacuoles are found in, that is, purple green photosynthetic bacteria. Next one, green photosynthetic bacteria. And next one, purple. Wait. Blue green. This is blue green, green, purple. These are the different types of photosynthetic bacteria. So these gas vacuoles are found in blue-green photosynthetic bacteria, green photosynthetic bacteria, purple photosynthetic bacteria. So gas vacuoles are not the part of inclusion bodies. Very, very important point. Why? Because around the vacuole, that is tonoplast is present. Tonoplast means membrane. So a membrane is present around the vacuole. That's why it is not the part of inclusion bodies. These gas vacuoles are found in blue-green photosynthetic bacteria, green photosynthetic bacteria, purple photosynthetic bacteria. So that is about inclusion bodies. Now look at here, my dear students. This is the bacterial chromosome and this is the plasmid. So it is circular, it is also circular. It is double stranded, it is also double stranded. Did you find it? These are very, very important. This is bacterial chromosome is also called genophore. Bacterial chromosome is also called genophore. Number of chromosomes means 1. This entire thing is 1 chromosome. This bacterial chromosome contains only DNA and no histone proteins. So both are circular, both are circular, both are double stranded. That point you have to remember. So look at here. So that is bacterial chromosome. Bacterial chromosome is also called genophore. Number of chromosomes in each bacterial cell. How many chromosomes we have to say? 1. That is, polarity is absent. Telomeres are absent in bacteria. Number of chromosomes in each bacterial cell, 1. That chromosome is circular, double stranded DNA. It contains only DNA and without histones and without histone proteins. So that is naked DNA. We can call them as that DNA is naked DNA. The DNA without histone proteins is so called naked DNA. So here no nuclear envelope, no nucleolus. That's why this is so called incipient nucleus. Incipient nucleus or incipient nucleus present or true nucleus absent. True nucleus absent. It is a circular double stranded DNA. If it is DNA means it undergoes self-replication. It undergoes self-replication. DNA, it undergoes self-replication, also called self-duplication. So, what are the points means? Bacterial chromosome. It is main genetic material. It will be considered as main genetic material. The main genetic material present in the cytoplasm of bacteria is called bacterial chromosome, also called genophore, and it is also called incipient nucleus or true nucleus is absent, or in the terms incipient nucleus is also called nucleoid present. Nucleoid means where the genetic material is present. The portion of the cytoplasm where the genetic material is present, that is so called nucleoid. Let us suppose in this diagram, if this bacterial chromosome is present here means this part is so called nucleoid. If it is present here means it is called nucleoid, like that. So that is in the cytoplasm non-histone proteins are present. DNA is always negative charge. It requires positive charge. So here packaging should be done in negative charge and positive charge. Here negative charge is DNA. Positive charge is non-histone proteins which are present in the cytoplasm. No nucleosome organization. No nucleosome organization. no nucleosomes. This is also very, very important point. So that is about bacterial chromosome. Next one, plasmid. Plasmid, the extra or additional genetic material other than genomic DNA, other than genomic DNA, or extra or additional genetic material. Extra or additional genetic material present in the cytoplasm of bacteria is called plasmid. How many plasmids? These plasmids are found in bacteria only, not in other organisms. That means their number may be 1 to 100 or more in each bacterial cell. Number of plasmids in each bacterial cell means some bacterial cells may contain 1 or 2 plasmids, some bacterial cells may contain 5 to 10 plasmids, some bacterial cells may contain 15 to 100 plasmids or more. So that means 1 to 100 or more plasmids in each bacterial cell. So this is used as a vector in genetic engineering experiments. Which one is used as a vector in genetic engineering experiments means plasmids are used as a vector in genetic engineering experiments. Why? Because these are easily to isolate and easily to introduce into the host cells. So that is easily to isolate and easily to reintroduce into the host cells. That's why these plasmids are generally used as a vector in genetic engineering experiments. These plasmids are useful for resistant to antibiotics. These are useful for resistant to antibiotics, and these are also useful for production of toxins and enzymes. What are the different types of plasmids? Types of plasmids means that is F plasmid. Second type R plasmid, and third type Cole plasmid. So how many types of plasmids are there means F plasmid, R plasmid, Cole plasmid. Plasmids are nothing but additional genetic material or extra genetic material present in the cytoplasm of bacterial cell. Next one, they contain few genes which contain fewer genes than genophore. So that is genophore is somewhat larger in size, plasmids are somewhat smaller in size. So plasmids contain fewer genes than genophore, and these plasmids are circular double-stranded DNA which undergoes self-replication. Both genophore and plasmids both are circular, both are double-stranded DNA. Those points you have to remember, my dear students, and please note down all these points. Okay? And we will meet in the next class. No, sir.